Hey guys, Danny Johnson here, and today we're going to be putting new carpet inside of our project Mustang GT.
Now I ordered this carpet from Late Model Restoration and it is the mass back. It's $50 more than the other carpet that they sell. You want to make sure that you do get this one from what I've heard because it already has the backing on it. The other carpet has had some pretty bad reviews. It's cheaper but it doesn't already have the backing on it and it bunches and it's a nightmare from what I've heard other people say. So I went with this mass back one that's all complete. It was about $200, which is about $50 more than the one that does not have that.
So with the new carpet, once it arrives, you need to unfold it and set it in the driveway, set it in the sun, and they want you to do that for what the instructions say, or a few hours. If you want to do it the night before, you can. Anyway, we're going to lay it out here, and now we're going to just pull the old bad carpet out of the car. Okay, so on the driver's side, you're going to get a 15mm deep socket, roll the seat all the way back, and you're going to take out these two nuts. There's one here and one here. So there's studs coming up from the floor on the front, and on the back there are 15mm bolts going down into the floor. So we'll remove these two and then roll the seat forward. Okay, so here in the back you have these covers, and there's just a pull pin, like a Christmas tree style pin that you pull out. You can put a pair of needle nose pliers behind it or a screwdriver, and then once you pull that pin out, then you can remove this cover. And then here's our 15mm bolt, one on each side, and we'll remove those. So note when you're pulling these covers off, you have these two little arches, and that's what holds it on. So just try to bend it up a little bit, slide it out, but try not to break the backside. Okay, so for the driver's seat, when you come in underneath it, you'll find the electrical plug. And so you just lift the tab that's on the top there, and then pull the plug out. Okay, so once again, lift up on that tab and then just pull it out. Now you can pretty much just pull the whole seat out of the car. Okay, so now just repeat the same process for the passenger side, and there shouldn't be an electrical connection on this one. Okay, so for the rear seats, we only have to do the bottom cushion area. So what you'll do is get a screwdriver, and right about in the middle, we're going to come in here and we're going to push a little button. And once you depress that button, at the same time you can lift upward on the seat. So that's what it looks like. So as you can see, you just push on the front of it and it releases the pin. So just do that on both sides, and then just pull the seat completely out. Okay, next we're going to remove the shifter bezel. So you simply just turn counterclockwise the shift knob. Okay, then you're going to pull this out, and you want to pull kind of this way, directly back towards you. And if you can get your fingers up in here, you just want the whole thing to come straight back so you don't break any clips. So I like to kind of get my fingers in here, kind of angle and pull straight back. If you don't damage the shift boot, you can kind of pull straight back on it around here too. There you go. Then just slide the leather boot up and over. And you will have a cigarette lighter attachment here. And so you just want to push down right inside that little box, and then you can slide the connection off. So it helps sometimes to get a screwdriver and stick it right down in that box, and then at the same time, then you just slide it out. Next, we're going to remove these two 7mm bolts. So they're kind of an odd size, but 7mm seems to do the trick. Okay, so then inside of the center console, you have two more 7mm bolts. Okay, so up front there's also a wiring harness to disconnect, and it's pretty simple. You just need to push down on that tab at the top, and as you're pushing it down, slide the bottom half away. Okay, so once that tab's pushed down, you can get a screwdriver in here and kind of separate it that way if that helps. It can be kind of a stubborn one. Okay, and then that just separates there. Okay, so now the console can be lifted straight up out. I found it easiest to have the parking brake up as high as you can get it, and make sure that the car's in like third gear or neutral. Just make sure the car doesn't roll away, but you want to have that gear selector up forward where it's not in the way. So then just lift the whole thing up and out. Now it still is a pretty tight fit to get this pitched up enough. So something I did is I sat down here on the driver's side, I put my right shoulder underneath it, and I pushed downward and kind of pinched up with my right shoulder to get that front of it downward, and then my shoulder was pushing the back of it to pop it up over that e-brake. So you just want to be careful not to scratch anything as you're doing that. Okay, so next we're going to go after this side molding, and you just pretty much grab on it and pull straight up, and it'll come off with these clips. Be careful because on this end you do have two tabs that go straight down in, so either way just pull that out of the way, and then you're going to come in here and there's going to be a push pin, and if you just put your hand behind it and pull, you can pretty much just pop that out. If you want to put a pair of pliers under it and pop it out, you can too, but if you can get it back in here, you can just kind of push it away. Okay, so with that pin in the front removed, then in the back you're pulling it pretty much straight back. As you can see, there's two clips. There's a clip and a guide pin that goes straight into there, so pop it out in the front and then pull it straight back. Okay, so then on the passenger side it's the same thing. We're just lifting straight up on this piece to get it out. Okay, and then you just remove the pin that's here. And same thing, you just pull straight back to get it out of there. Okay, and then so on each side you're going to have more pull pins here. You can get needle nose pliers behind them. Sometimes you can even just move the carpet over it. But as you can see, you would just pull straight back on that. So we're going to do that on this side and then the passenger side. Okay, now you'll need a T47 Torx, and this is for the seat belt. So you're just going to basically put this in and take that bolt out, and then your seat belt will be able to be detached. And now at this point, we're ready just to pull all of the carpet out. Okay, so pull all that carpet out, and just as an incentive, remember how rich you're going to be with all the coins that you'll find that were on the bottom. That's everything that came out of this car. Okay, so what we've done now is we've taken the new carpet and flipped it upside down. Then we're going to take our old carpet and flip it upside down right on top of it. Then we're going to trace kind of the outlines where the seat holes go, where the center console hole went, and you even have to cut it down here around the shifter area and in the back. So that's the recommended way of trying to get the cuts correct. Okay, so my suggestion for this is to overlap it as we have. The old carpet is now on top of the new carpet, but when we make our cuts, I'm going to cut it thinner than it really needs to be. And for all these other holes, I'm not cutting the full size of the hole right now. I'm just cutting a small one. That way when you lay it in the car, you'll know if you were off a little bit. You don't want to overcut a bigger section or a section in the wrong area that's going to really screw you up later. So I'm just going to do like basically a small circle around each of these, and then you know, I can make a cut there and then see how it looks once it's in the car. Might I add, it is a beautiful day today for this project. Okay, so I very conservatively cut the little sections that were outlined, so they're much smaller cuts than they really need to be. That's going to allow us to get it into the car and see where we really need to cut it so that we're not off. So I just made smaller cuts where we trace the outlines. I didn't even do the back ones for the seats because I'm just going to basically put a drill up through the floor pan where the holes are and just drill into them that way. So I'm not even going to try to cut it yet for the back where the back of the seat goes in. Okay, so now I'm just putting it into the car. And you know where that hole is, we're putting that e-brake through. We're going to watch for the power seat connection, and if you had a convertible top, that one as well. But we're just kind of getting it into the car now. Okay, so we're in here pretty good. As you can see, we are overlapping since we cut it short, which is better than cutting it too much. So we're going to come in with our blade and just kind of cut it a little bit more and just trim it. We've got it up here under the dash, and it's good. It'll need to be trimmed a little bit more in the front. That way we can move the whole carpet forward a little bit because we're still bunched up a little bit. Here, we're just using the little beam section here to line up on the beam under here as our reference point. And so anyway, we're just kind of getting in the car and just kind of walking around and matting it down everywhere.
Now, of course, you want to be very careful around the gas and brake pedals that you don't have it where it will interfere with any of your driving.
Okay, so it's coming along pretty good. I'm just having to trim it pretty interestingly up in here. I'm really surprised with how much trimming is required on this, and in the instructions it says that it may overlap over the sides quite a bit, so I will have to eventually cut that. But I have it pretty well in place here. As I mentioned, I used the template and cut it a little bit conservatively. Now I'm going back through and kind of widening the cut a little bit. Okay, so the studs are real nice because you can feel them as you're pushing on the carpet. And so I just took my knife and made a slit and then punched it through. And so the front's good there. For the back, I kind of did the opposite. I drove the bolt up from the bottom, because these are bolts that usually go down in this way, but you can also run those bolts up this way. And so I did that, and then I could feel where it was coming through, and so I just made a nice little cut there as well. So now that's perfectly lined up there, and we're gonna do it on this side, and so that's how we're gonna get the rear holes drilled. And then I'm gonna put the seats back in at this point in the center console and just make sure everything's going how it should. And then I'll trim the very edges with the rest of the interior panels. I did have to pull here, and you can see it's still kind of bunched up, but I had to pull the carpet all the way through and lift this up to get this down in here. And it's helping just to kind of kneel down in here and just work in this area and just keep molding it. I left the car for about an hour while I went and ran some errands, let the heat really kind of melt it a little bit, so now it's a little more flexible. And this area here I just cut all the way around. The factory one, they have the carpet in first and then they rivet this piece down, so the best way is just to cut around it entirely. So anyway, that's how it's looking right now. Okay, so we're coming through here and we're having to trim the carpet right along this pinch weld. As you can see, there's these gold clips that come on the car. Sometimes they come off on the trim piece, but what you want to do is pop them off and then use them as you line this up like so. You want to get this flat, and then you want to use that clip to help pinch it into its place. So we're just going along the whole thing and trimming it and pinching this down to keep it right where we want it. Okay, so on the passenger side, we just reached our hand under here to fill where the seat belt will go back in, and we just made a little X cut, and now we're just putting that bolt back in here. So for the rear seat clip, instead of just cutting holes in the carpet, what I've done is I've put the carpet right where I want it, and then taking a screwdriver, I'm just punching holes through, you know, where the holes go for it, and then we're going to use that to also help hold the carpet tight down here. So that holds the carpet down real nice. I really like how that worked out. Okay, so as you're putting this trim piece back in, you'll have these posts. And so what you can do is just get a screwdriver, put it over that slit that's down in there, and just kind of punch it through. And so you'll see those holes right there. And as you punch it through, then this piece can go right back into place. Okay, next we put the center console back in. So remember to have the handbrake up, and remember to have the gear selector forward so that you're not getting it caught on here on the inside. So make sure the car doesn't roll away. It shouldn't if the brake's on, but you never know when it's in neutral or something, so be careful there. Also, make sure that this plug here is not getting buried back up in there. You can go ahead and re-plug it back in. There we go. And so now we're just going to go ahead and put in our shifter bezel. Okay, we're getting our 2 bolts down here, 7mm, down into the center console. Okay, so you want to find the hole where the seat belt is going to go. You can pull it back and find it. Make sure you're not hitting any wires that are coming through here. And then just take a screwdriver and punch it into there. Then you can drive this bolt back in. Okay, so if you start to get some bunching in the corner, what you'll have to do, as you'll see here, is just kind of cut like an L shape out of it, and that's what you'll need to do. Anytime that there's too much material, it's going to cause it to bunch, so you got to cut it until it's pretty much flush. And so we've just done that like we did on the other side, coming along here pretty much flush with it and using these clips to help pin it to where it needs to be. Okay, then you can reach up in here about the middle of where all these bolts are and find that power cord and just cut a hole and make sure you get this through there as well. Okay, so we put in our driver's seat here, plugged in the motor from underneath, and then we've got all of our bolts on here. Carpet's looking really nice, and so we're just making sure this is all tight, 15mm bolts and nuts. Okay, so here it is, came out really nice. Everywhere you look inside this car makes a big difference when you are getting in and out. You may not think it makes too big of a difference, but when it's filthy, it really shows. Here we are on the passenger side. I tucked it way up in there pretty good. And I still can put in some pins and some things right now, but otherwise it's in here, it's pulled tight, and it looks really, really nice. So, we also have these brand new floor mats to add to it. I got the ones with the GT logo, and they do have a stopper in here for this thing here, but this is a Ford officially licensed product here. We're gonna go ahead and put these in.